green energy. So really looking across the water, energy, food and environment nexus as we put together solutions to be able to tackle these problems, even where there is water scarcity. We can bring in those solutions. I'm sure you will gather there are so many ideas from the actions from these panelists, from the work in Morocco at a national level, looking at different sources of water and different uses of water, and being able to balance them, even during times of growing droughts, often in Morocco. We heard from the EU at a much larger scale how legislation, or agreements, political processes, regulations, policies, enforcement, which is really needed in so many ways. We can bring that water, energy, food, but that prosperity to our countries. We heard about innovation, our water moonshot, and I think we want to very much thank the UAE for bringing that and stimulating that, because we know that is part of the mix. And Marco, the work from ICID, bringing agriculture here. It was often lacking in New York in 2023. And so we have a chance through this Water for Prosperity dialogue to really bring agriculture in as part of that, as you said, the largest user of water. And all your examples. Panelists together. And hand back to our co-chairs, Spain and China, because we see that there are lots of actions here that you can take into your planning. Thank you.
Thank you for the moderator and for the panelists. They have given us very insightful discussion, which are very thought-provoking. So next, we will move to the session that is hearing from the floor. But before that, we will start with a Slido interaction so that we can gather perspectives from participants attending our meeting today. So staff, please share the, So you can use your phone to scan the QR code on the screen and input your perspectives. So we will just leave it here. And in the meantime, we will start with the plenary discussion. We will have the first round that we would like to welcome comments from member states. So because we are running out of time, we would like to have, when you make the comments, please be concise and straight to the point. So the first, I see this gentleman, but I can't, it's down. Oh yeah, Russia, yeah, please.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank panelists for their statements and as well co-chairs for their efforts to promote discussion within this dialogue. I promise I'll do my best to be as short as possible. I'd like to share some practical points that may be reflected in December conference. For sure, access to water resources is a key factor for sustainable development in all its dimensions. In this context, the issue of integrated water resources management through introduction of modern solutions comes to the forefront. Such an approach should be based on the principles of technological neutrality and the introduction of best available technologies. In this regard, it's very important for IWRM to develop systems for monitoring surface and groundwaters, especially in poorly studied areas, and to improve long-term forecasting models. From our point of view, a cautious approach is required when developing criteria for valuing water. In this context, we should speak not about establishing a universal price or pricing water, but about applying economic mechanisms for water-related industries. Count the availability of water resources or a state the accessibility for the population, and the state of water bodies, and the level of anthropogenic pollution. At the same time, it's vital to consider a volume of water that might be taken from a specific water body that will not lead to its degradation. There is a need to introduce diversified water treatment standards and targets depending on the intended aim of water usage, as these should enable more efficient use of available resources and help to attract contractors and investments. We especially emphasize that non-discriminatory access must be ensured for investments and technologies, modern technologies in the equipment, in order to improve water quality and water use efficiency in line with SDG 6. As Dr. Marco Arsieri, sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, fairly pointed out, technologies should be applied in the fields. And in Russia, technologies are developing. Today, we make it possible to use every liter of water as efficiently as possible. In particular, in several vulnerable regions, water use efficiency has been improved through the transition to high-tech irrigation systems, and water consumption was reduced by 40 to 50%, while simultaneously increasing crop yields. We are also introducing automated reservoir management systems, enabling prompt responses to changes in water management conditions and including the onset of floods. Thank you very much. I hope I didn't take too much time.
Thank you. So next, Egypt, and then UAE, followed by
Emirates.
UAE.
Thank you very much, Suhail. I'm the Water Minister of Egypt, and I appreciate and thank the co-hosts and also the panelists of this session, a very important session. I just have two comments very quickly. The first one is about water pricing. I think in the era of sustainable development, we are not speaking about water pricing anymore. We are speaking about valuing water. Water has a value today, and it's not only economic, it's social and environmental. So we need to stick to the terminologies that we're mentioning, and I appreciate the people who prepared the 2 pages. So we don't want to do the mistakes of the past, transfer everything to the economy without thinking about the environment and the social dimension. The second point is about the water energy nexus, and I think my friend Shannon mentioned it very clearly about the using renewables for desalination. This is the future, but also water energy food is possible, which means that desalinating water and creating new water resources for agriculture, for food, that's a trend that we have to consider, and this needs a bit of using technologies more, because the technology exists, and we need to think about desalinating water for food production, because there are some countries that are exhausting their water recycling and water reuse, as it was mentioned also. So there should be additional resources. Yes, the cost of desalination for drinking is high, but if we change the mindset on think of desalination for agriculture, you need to produce water with less quality, different quality. It's going to be cheaper in terms of water cost, but also the use of the renewable will make it much cheaper, because renewables, or especially for PV energy generated by the solar energy, it dropped from 20+ cents to 2 cents. So this means that the cost of cubic meter of water will be less. And when we use such an expensive water, we are not going to use the same techniques for irrigation. We can couple it with the techniques that we know today, the hydroponics and aquaponics, and such models will allow us in the very near future to produce water for food using solar-powered desalination. Thank you.
Emirates. Yeah, please.
Thank you for the opportunity to participate in this important session and to share our perspective. I'll try to make it short. In the UAE, we view water security as a cornerstone of sustainable and development, long-term prosperity. With limited natural freshwater resources that we have in the GCC, we rely on seawater desalination for drinking water. And we are steadily shifting from conventional toward high-efficiency reverse osmosis integrated with clean energy. Similarly, agriculture in the UAE relies largely on groundwater, which we recognize as strategic and finite resource. This is why the UAE is studying a net zero groundwater extraction approach to reduce reliance on groundwater, protect its quality, and safeguard it for future generations. This transition strengthens water conservation, supports more resilient agricultural practices, and reinforces long-term water and food security. At the same time, it enables innovation and creates skilled jobs across desalination, clean energy, digital water management, and sustainable agriculture. Thank you.
So anybody, any other member states would like to share their comments? Yeah, please introduce yourself. Turkey. Okay.
Hello, everyone. Hello. 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 Speak louder. Okay, I speak louder then. But I think everyone here. Okay. Okay. Thank you. First of all, I'm thanking for everyone here, for the panelists, for their presentation. I'm here for Hakish Confederation with the trade union in Turkey. They have a confederation there. And we have been actually speaking on the topic of 4 and 5 question, 4th and 5th question with the Miss Rachel. And I am commenting on the question that the PPP organizations are actually can be more different than the more public confederations. So we should be doing the public aspects of the participation, not only PPP program. So when the Hakish say let's value water, we don't mean the commodifying it. On the contrary, we mean recognizing it. But they're not working. It's working. Thank you. Thank you. I think, now it's working. Thank you. But I'm finished. So I think as the Hakish Confederation, we should be doing the public programs more often than the PPP, like public and personal programs. On the contrary, we do need to think that the public organizations more important in this area. Thank you.
Thank you. So next we'll move to the second round of the intervention, but it will be focusing on the stakeholders. Yesterday, a one-day stakeholder meeting took place, and now I would like to invite the Sacro Chief from the Blackfoot Youth Water Council, and she's also the youth representative for senegal Water Advisory Panel to report on the takeaways of yesterday's meeting.
Hello. Excellencies, colleagues, friends, my name is Disa, Co-Chief representing Sixiga and the Blackfoot Youth Water Council and the Sixiga Water Advisory Panel. It is my honor to present the key message from the stakeholder process of ID2 led by Indigenous Science, Women in Water Diplomacy Network, and the Sustainable rights-based approach and fully implement existing tools and mechanisms of good water governance. For prosperity to a more comprehensive set of indicators of prosperity to capture diverse values and meanings of water, also towards a post-2030 framework. Address the capacity and the gender gap in water and wastewater jobs. Shift the wastewater narratives and foster solutions for people and planet like circular sanitation approaches and nature-based solutions. Recognize and advance Indigenous knowledge, Indigenous science, and Indigenous Earth observations. For meaningful participations, we urgently call on the co-hosts and co-chairs to invite Indigenous people in the coordination and execution of the program. Provide enough time for people to organize engagement. Provide access and resources to coordinate and participate. Provide a robust participation mechanism for all interactive dialogues and the conference now. And just to start and go into it with good intentions and energy, we are all allowed to learn as we go. Be kind to yourselves. Remember and acknowledge why we do the work we do and support connection and community. We are confident that the stakeholder process we have seen yesterday has proven to be a good foundation for the upcoming months, the UN Water Conference 2026, and beyond. Thank you for your time and energy today.
Okay. Mr. Diamniadio, High Commissioner, Organisation pour la mise en valeur de la fleuve de Gambie. No?
Mr. Jallo. So it seems that he's not here right now. Yeah, so we'll move on to the next person that would like to share his views, Mr. David Poignard, Executive Director from Foundation Veolia. Yeah, okay. The floor is yours.
Thank you. I will speak in French. It's okay. Mesdames et messieurs, merci pour l'invitation. Dans un monde fragmenté et sous tension climatique, la prospérité n'est plus la croissance économique seule, mais la résilience. Elle repose sur 4 piliers fondamentaux liés à l'eau, la paix, la santé, la sécurité alimentaire. Pour accélérer le déploiement, nous avons besoin de nouveaux financeurs. Nous devons déployer des partenariats publics-privés philanthropiques, PPPP, pour financer financer les premiers investissements. L'optimisation du système est assurée par notre partenaire scientifique océanographique Paul Ricard pour que l'eau soit le moteur d'une prospérité partagée et durable. Merci.
Next, I would like to invite Mr. Mohammed Kamala from the Water Systems to share his vision. Mr.
I think they already spoke here, so maybe we skip them.
Okay. Okay, so it seems that we still have a little bit of time. Open a third round of question, or we'll come to the...
Chair, we have about 10 minutes,
Okay.
so we could use it quick. Interviews.
So just one or two interventions from the floor. Yes, the lady? Yeah. Please introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I wasn't expecting to speak at this mic today, but let's go. So I'm Marie, I work at the Coalition Eau, the Water Coalition, which is the network of French NGOs committed to human rights, to water and sanitation. And for this interactive dialogue, we really think that something really, really important, it's peace. We can't think of prosperity. So, yeah, I think we should collectively talk more about peace. Think of peace, it's also very important to the links as water, so 6 is interconnected and strongly linked to the other SDG. For instance, SDG number 2 on food, SDG number 7 on energy, and I could do this with a lot of the 17 SDGs. So yeah, I just wanted to, I mean, 2 key words for this dialogue, peace and SDG. And also, since I'm here, I think this dialogue could be very interesting to think of the post-2030 agenda and the future of the SDGs. Thank you, everyone.
One more intervention. Yeah, we can take one more intervention. Yeah. Okay, please.
Hello, thank you for giving this opportunity. I'm Dong King from the Republic of Korea. And the Republic of Korea extends its warm congratulations and sincere appreciation to Senegal and the United Arab Emirates as co-hosts, as well as all countries serving as the co-chairs for each of the 6 interactive dialogue themes, like China and Spain. The Ministry of Climate, Energy and Environment of the Republic of Korea is planning a joint side event among countries on the occasion of the UN Water Conference to be held this coming December in order to contribute to strengthening global water security. At this stage, the side event is being developed around 3 sessions. First, Global Non-Revenue Water Reduction Seminar, 2 Policy and Technology Seminar on the bottled water tailored for climate crisis response. Third, UNESCO Water Science Support. The Republic of Korea would appreciate the strong interest and engagement of the international community in these side events, the concept that will be shared through official diplomatic channels. Thank you.
Thank you. So because of the time limitation, we close this intervention session. Next up, we would like to invite Mr. Li Lifeng. He's the reporter of our roundtable discussion today, and he's also working as the member of the informal preparatory working group supporting the development of the concept paper. He will share with us the takeaways from today's discussion. Mr. Li, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, thanks to co-chair, His Excellency Mr. Fernandez, the State Secretary representing, also Ms. Jing, Minister of Water Resources representing China, and my dear colleague Rachel McDonnell, the facilitator, the moderator, esteemed panelists, and all of you for your contribution to this interactive dialogue. It's so rich and so deep, it's hard for me to summarize in a few minutes, but allow me to give a try. I think what I'm going to do is try to use 6 key words to summarize the discussion this afternoon. For people, for the environment, and for the economies to thrive together, sustainable water management is needed. What is clear from today's discussion is that water stays at the center of all efforts to promote prosperity for all. As the co-chair put it, we moved from development to prosperity, of new vision and of new aspiration, which requires all of us to work together towards the conference in December in UAE. We all know this. We know that water flows across the landscapes, river basins, across countries, across culture, across sectors and economies. As we have heard from our panelists today, this is the first key word, integration. Integration at various levels must stand at the center of the solutions to tackle water-related challenges. We not only need to talk with each other, we don't need to talk so much with each other in this room. I think what is needed is for all of us to find our target audience, that's who are the decision makers on issues like the energy, food, like a healthy, like infrastructure, housing, social affairs. Those are the decision makers that rely upon sustainable water resource management. It's also my duty to promote water and promote integrated water resource management in FAO, in the Food and Agriculture Organization. A week ago, I participated in the Global Forum on Food and Agriculture organized by the government of Germany that put the water as the topic for this year's forum. 56 agriculture ministers attended this forum, and then they adopted the ministerial communique with a very strong message. The message is also very clear. Water security and food security are inseparable. The largest sectoral water user, agriculture, holds the solutions to water security. And we need to break the silos to promote water for economies and for prosperity. Agri-food systems transformation can provide opportunities and solutions to the increasing rural prosperity through economic and social development by including smallholder farmers, especially the women. At the FAO, we promote this integration through our annual organization of Rome Water Dialogue. Rome Water Dialogue is the initiative that we invite all the experts on water come to the epicenter of agri-food discussions so that we can build the synergies between these sectors. To achieve integration, we also heard the other 5 key words this afternoon. The first, valuing water. We need to value water holistically across economic, culture, and ecological dimensions, for which we need to sound data and information about how water is used, how water is allocated, as well as the new innovations, new technologies to improve the monitoring and also the use of water. We also heard the second terminology, or circular economy. Integration goes through the promoting of the circular economy approach, such as the use of treated water, reuse, desalination, in particular in agriculture, where safe water is needed to produce more food. In this effort, we need to engage with water users and also bring them into the discussions to apply such currently in that effort. The third keyword is policy coherency. When we look at the policy coherency, in many countries, water still have been addressed largely through a sectoral approach. Certainly, policies and strategies at all levels must be better aligned with each other to address the competing use of water and also to increase the synergies that already exist. I can give you an example. In 2021, through the UN Food System Summit, 114 countries submitted their national food security pathways. When I asked my colleagues to review these food security pathways, and only 1/3 of them mentioned water meaningfully. So the rest of 2/3, in fact, many of them, they are water-scarce countries, and they didn't mention water at all or in a meaningful way in their national food security pathways. The other similar situations exist. If you look at the NDCs, nationally determined contributions, or if you look at the national adaptation plans, in many countries, there's still a gap in terms of integration. And certainly, we need to bring water into all the other related national strategies, national plans, as well as the international platforms, conventions, such as the 3 Rio Conventions. And this year, we have the COPs for all the 3 Rio Conventions, such as a great opportunity for us to strengthen our collective effort to bring the water into those global multilateral processes, which is another dialogue that's ongoing. The EU water resilience strategy can serve as a good example on how a policy coherent at the highest policy level can be promoted. Similarly, in FAO, we are supporting a dozen of the countries to develop their national water roadmaps towards the SDGs, which has the similar effort, try to bring the water at the center of sustainable development. The fourth keyword is investment and scale up. Investment and scale up the technologies and the solutions. Irrigation, wastewater treatment, water storage, desalination, renewable energy for water management, groundwater use and management, the soil health management, many other sustainable farming solutions. And on the ground, in the field, the reality is very true. The reality is that our farmers, our women, our indigenous peoples, they are the routine water steward. And they have been trying their best to promote a holistic and integrated water use. And we also heard that ecosystem-based or nature-based solutions can be demonstrated, scaled up on the ground level. We heard that the water, the energy, food, environment objectives could be achieved simultaneously on the ground. The fifth key word is partnership. Certainly, no single country or no single organization can move the needle alone. Let's bring all the stakeholders on board, listen to their solutions, their ideas, that can really provide and learn from each other, and really to scale up the solutions through the partnership. So on behalf of FAO, UNDP, and UNIDO, the 3 UN agencies that provide technical support to this dialogue up to the conference in December, please reach out to us and contribute to this interactive dialogue to promote water for prosperity for all. We will continue our support and to support the two co-chair countries, China and Spain, and you all of you as the key stakeholders, let's make this interactive dialogue much more forward-looking, much more solution-oriented, and successful as well as impactful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Li. Thank you for the good summary. And we do need you on our way to UAE in December. And thank also to other colleagues from the informal preparatory working groups. So I know that there are other representatives who would like to make interventions, but since we will have another roundtable, you know, following our roundtable, we need to start our last part of the roundtable discussion, that is the closing. So before I give the floor to Ms. Moran, I would like to say a few words. So first of all, I would like to thank all the speakers and participants for giving their valuable contributions. I think water is very important. Yeah, I think everybody would think so. But I would like to, why I'm saying this is because if we look at the IPCC meeting, which was held last December in Brazil, we would find that for the first time, the adaptation indicator framework was published. And that was very important because previously, the IPCC focused on mitigation. But for the first time, IPCC published its adaptation indicators. And among these adaptation indicators, water comes the first. And water is the core to other 6 indicators as well. So if we look at those indicators, we would find that water is very important for survival, for peace, for develop, and for prosper. So we water people will naturally think that water is the core. But it is also our time to reach out and also to think outside of the box to make water a top priority on the global political agenda. This is my first idea. And secondly, I would like to share with you a Chinese proverb, 英雄所见略同, which is great minds think alike. Because I hear from the panelists, from our staff from the group and our moderator, and also from the interventions from the floor, we find that we face the same challenges, but maybe of different size, magnitude. And every country would come up with a solution that's fit for themselves. So I would also like to share some figures with you in China. For example, water security. China attaches great importance to the water supply security. By the end of 2025, urban public water supply coverage has reached 99.57%. And the national penetration rate of tap water in the rural areas, that is a vast area in China, large population, has reached 96%. So water supply in China has already shifted from having water to drink to drinking good water. And we also talked about water environment and ecology. And China has vigorously implemented restore our mother rivers, we call rivers. And just in 2025, all the first batch of 88 mother rivers and lakes in China have reached its restoration targets. You may know that in China there are 2 important rivers. The first one is the Yangtze River, which have abundant water resources. The second one is the Yellow River. And the Yellow River used to run dry, but it has maintained continuous flow for 26 consecutive years for now. And we talked about water use efficiency, and this is also a top priority in China. We have implemented the National Water Conservation Action, and the government has formulated water-saving policies, including water pricing, our Egyptian friend has already mentioned. And we are also encouraging water recycling and unconventional water utilization. Unconventional water includes desalinated water, treated sewage water, mine water, rainwater. Yeah, all of these water resources are taken into consideration when we manage water. And we enhance agricultural water use efficiency and promoting higher yields, strengthen industrial water use efficiency, and reduce waste and polluted water discharge. We upgrade urban water supply and try to decrease water loss. So between 2015 and 2024, GDP of China nearly doubled, but the total water consumption remained stable, no more than, well, anyway, it is still a big figure. It is still a big figure, 610 billion cubic meters. But you can see that GDP doubled, but water consumption remains unchanged. So in terms of integrated water resources management, the government has also implemented the strictest water management system. We have set ceilings for water utilization for the whole country, for different provinces, for different rivers, and we also have set ceilings for water use efficiency as well. So by the end of 2024, China has also built 95,000 reservoirs, 200 large and medium-sized water diversion projects, more than 6,000 large and medium-sized irrigation areas equipped with sprinkler irrigation, drip irrigation, root irrigation technologies. And all of this forming a comprehensive water infrastructure system in China, which make great contribution to national food security and socioeconomic development. But what I'm sharing right now, the figures, is not, I don't want to boast, but what I'm saying is that every country has made achievement on their way to a better water management for their sustainable development and prosperity. So we're having this important roundtable discussion is to draw our collective wisdom and to find out the replicable and feasible solutions that help each and every country, each and every people to have their, to ensure their future. So finally, my last message is the of China, other countries, other international organizations, civil societies, and stakeholders on our way to 2026 UN Water Conference in UAE. Thank you. So next, I would like to give the floor to Mr. Moran to give his closing remarks.
Thank you. Je tiens à remercier les co-organisateurs de la conférence des Nations Unies sur l'eau 2026, les organisateurs et les participants pour leurs précieuses contributions. Ces contributions enrichissent et apportent des éléments et des points de vue très importants qui, sans aucun doute, contribuent à renforcer la proposition présentée par l'Espagne. Elles seront essentielles à l'élaboration de la note conceptuelle qui servira à orienter le dialogue de l'eau pour la prospérité à Dubaï. Notre principal intérêt est que cette contribution se traduise par des résultats tangibles et aussi que le résultat de ces dialogues puisse soutenir les autres dialogues afin que nous puissions présenter une proposition complète et cohérente à Dubaï. C'est pourquoi nous considérons qu'il est très important de maintenir un dialogue fluide avec les co-hôtes ainsi qu'avec l'envoyé spécial pour l'eau. Notre intention est de garantir que les processus préparatoires soient inclusifs et permettent une participation significative de tous les secteurs et acteurs, y compris ceux qui se trouvent dans des situations de vulnérabilité. Nous soutenons également l'intégration cohérente dans les processus de résultats des COP et des forums intergouvernementaux pertinents, ainsi que du système des Nations Unies. Enfin, nous sommes convaincus que nous pourrons progresser vers une résolution de l'Assemblée générale qui garantira un suivi efficace des résultats de Dubaï, et nous permettra de construire une base solide en vue de la conférence 2028. Merci beaucoup à tous.
Thank you, Mr. Moran. So finally, before I announce the conclusion of this roundtable discussion, I would like to thank once again to the colleagues from Senegal, UAE, and the informal preparatory working group for the preparation of this roundtable discussion. It's just 90 minutes, I don't know what it is, right? But it's very efficient and very information intensive, so I believe everyone have learned a lot from each other. Thank you. Thank you for coming.